Thank you. And our next speaker is our moderator, Aymen Ismail. He is Head of Customer Engagement at Smart Europe. And he is speaking about customer engagement contact centers, from cost centers to value generating centers. Yeah. Thank you and enjoy.
Thank you for introducing me. It would have been weird if I introduced myself, but yeah, here I am. So, I'm not going to talk about this beautiful, sexy digital product that we call a car. I'm going to talk about how we're going to take over the customer engagement or the contact center world to the next level. We're going to focus a bit more on the automotive world, but I will definitely answer a few questions today. So if we look at the questions, I will step away from here. So the questions are basically about cost-consuming contact centers versus value-generating engagement centers. That's one of the questions I'm going to try to answer, along with how can a successful customer engagement strategy impact brand engagement, sales, and overall customer satisfaction. And also the last question that I would like to answer today is, what are the elements of a successful value-generating center, or as I call it within Smart, a hub? This is what we're going to talk about. Basically, how I will answer this is going to be in three folds. The evolving role of customer engagement, the key differentiators for value generation, and the notion of simplicity and why it does matter. And hopefully, by the end of this, you'll understand why customer engagement is actually quite important and the transformation is needed. We all know the world of contact centers. Contact centers has been, as a terminology, established many years ago with the introduction of the phones, and then came the, what they called it somehow, some sort of yellow books where there was business contacts and people used to call to generate business and to purchase certain things back and forth back in the early 1900s. But then it got evolved. And Rockwell introduced their ACD, or the, I think ACD is active call distributor or something like that. But definitely that was the game changer for the contact center world. But it was always a cost-consuming center. As an organization, we always saw the contact center as somewhere where I need to dump money, but I'm not getting that much value out of it. I needed to support customers, but the value is not there that much. This has to change, and this is what we at Smart Europe are trying to do. We are moving away from naming it as a cost center. Yes, it costs us money, but we need to generate value out of it, and that's why we're moving away from that normal naming tradition to the value center approach. How? We're going to step away from transactional, support, and assistance-related topics. Traditionally, in the automotive world especially, contact centers are there to support 24/7 when you have a breakdown. You're in the middle of the road, going from Germany to France to spend your holiday, and oops, your car got stuck in the middle of the road. Who are you going to? The contact center. So from there, this was basically how we built the contact centers in the automotive world. Supporting customers for complaints about my dealer, about my service, where is my car, I've been waiting for it, or hey, I'm stuck in the middle of the road and I need assistance right now. And from there, we're going to move to more value. And this is going to be done in many different steps with many different also technological aspects behind it, but also many different approaches on how the operations should talk with the customers. Here we want to try to get the humans to focus more on building a relationship. We are going to leverage bots, and as you saw today, and you will see more the next hours and tomorrow, bots are taking over heavily. They are able to perform a lot of use cases, but also certain data-related topics are needed in order for us to be able to perform better services for our customers, maybe even proactive. But definitely freeing the agent to focus more on generating value, to focus more on understanding what is the next best action to perform with our customers, maybe even cross-sell, upsell, or on-sell to the customer. That is definitely what will help us generate value out of our contact centers. I think I jumped in. No, that's actually good. So there is certain opportunities that we can generate, certain opportunities within the contact center that sometimes are missed. A lot of industries are actually doing parts of this. Some industries are doing all of this. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I can tell you, I haven't worked in one organization where we performed all these 4 activities in one place. So from there, we need to look into inbound sales. I'm a person that likes to call contact centers to understand more about the business and maybe even buy via them or online. I like to step away from being a person that goes to the physical store and actually perform activities while I'm sitting at home on my couch, watching TV, browsing the internet, making a call to understand what is the features about this product and buying it online. But in the last 2 years or this year and a half now, we have been struck by the epidemic. COVID has let us stay at home, and as you saw, the retail business online, or the e-commerce business, has grown very, very rapidly. And from there, having a contact center, which became an essential worker, the call center agents became essential workers in the European Union and even all over the world, having them to sell services as well via the phone or via the chat is quite crucial. Also, service to sale. Not every call we receive in our customer support area is a complaint that may just be a complaint. We can turn this complaint to an actual opportunity to sell certain services or products. And that's a case that we tried to use with one of the OEMs I worked with, and it worked quite well. The customer has a breakdown. If I have the right data in front of me to understand what was the reason of the breakdown, I realized it's an old model that had multiple breakdowns that was sent to the service for the same reason multiple times. Maybe it's time for me to sell him a new car. And that works in a lot of cases. That's something we need to leverage the data on in order for us to be able to shift the complaint to an actual opportunity to generate business. Outbound telesales, this is traditionally what contact centers were built on. I've done my first job in a contact center as a telesales agent, working in Cairo, selling stuff in the United States. It was quite fun to do that. I had to have an American name. It was, if I remember correctly, Chester Dawson. But I was doing telesales via the phone to another country, and it was actually a booming business. And outbound retention. And this is where a lot of brands that have contract-based products are doing a lot, but it needs to be done in the right moments. And you need to define the moment of truth along the journey to understand when should I start my retention. Is it one call? Is it multiple calls before the final call? Is it a multi-channel related campaign that I need to do to perform email, SMS, and maybe even a call in the end? These are the things that we need to consider in order for us to design the right value-generating engagement center. So, we need to move from the time era. Contact centers are always focusing on time. Service level is time. Average handling time. How much time do I spend to do the after-call work? How much time do I spend to talk with the customer? And that needs to stop. In order for me as a customer to get the best service, I would like the person that I'm talking to on the phone or in the chat to take the time with me, to dedicate themselves in order to serve me in the best way. So from there, we at Smart Europe are moving completely away from a time-bound era, a time-bound KPIs and service levels. And we're focusing more on engagement and experience service levels. And this is the new era that we're trying to focus on. And there, it's all about building remarkable experiences. That's even our motto within the customer engagement. We create remarkable experiences. That's the focus that we will have, and we will never judge an agent by how long they spent. We will judge them by the experience that they deliver in the end. So, how to differentiate the value generation? What are the key differentiators that will put me as a brand that sells cars in the level of the best contact centers in the world? We thought about it, and we have for certain statements about that. The first statement is, where your customers are, be there. I'm a person, personally, I have my mobile phone as everything that I do in my life. I'm a traveler, I lived in 24 countries. I use my phone for everything, to connect with my family, my friends, but also with my brands. I like sometimes to call a brand, to chat with them on Facebook, to use their bot, or even messaging services. Do all the brands provide all these channels? No. It's time for us to think, what is the best appropriate channels to provide our customers? Yes, I have a call center number, but a lot of us are already having a hard time to stay on the IVR for a very long time. Sometimes even the chatbot doesn't offer us the services that is needed in the way we want. I want to speak to a human. I don't want to do it on the website. Why aren't you available on Facebook Messenger, or on iMessage, or on WhatsApp? And this is what we at Smart Europe are doing, where we are going to be present almost on any channel the customer needs. We are eliminating any channel that causes let's say harm to the environment, because we need to be sustainable, so there's no mail anymore, there's no fax anymore, and we're focusing more on digital channels plus phone and the vehicle. The other statement here, enable proactive and targeted customer services. This is where data is quite important, and we live in an era of data. There's even a quote that says, data is the new oil. It is actually literally the new oil. But what amount of data can we have? How can we use it? This is the strategy that we all need to think about. The data that is there, about usage especially from the car, we need to be able to analyze that. Usage of your products, of your services, you need to be able to take this data, make meaningful meaningful use cases out of it and make it available for your contact center agent. Because from there, I will be able to identify if a car might have a breakdown in the next 3 months based on certain data coming out of the car. If the customer provides me with the right to check the data or the usage data, I'll be able to analyze a problem before it happens, contact the customer, and actually fix the problem before it even happens. There was a study in the United States that was done in actually the end of last year, and they realized that 60% of customers that received proactive information about problems that would have occurred in the products and services remain loyal to their customers and actually renewed contracts with them. 60% is not a small number. It's not a small number for us to ignore, but it's also a lot of work for us to do in order for us to maintain these 60%. And if we would just provide the data in the right way, we will be able to offer proactive services and retain 60% at least. The other statement here is enabling fast insights to action and data-driven customer engagement. While I'm with the customer on the phone, I would like to actually have all the knowledge as an agent to be able to assist the customer. But how many of us have called a contact center and had to explain all the process, maybe even the history, and had to go over and over again. I talked with your colleague yesterday and I explained to them everything. Or I cannot find the case information. And it's a dilemma that all of us sometimes have to face even with every brand that we work with. We need to eliminate that completely. Part of my decision to stay with a company is how the customer services is. A lot of people that use certain brand step away from that brand, not just because the brand is horrible, the brand can be great, but the customer services behind it is horrible, and I just don't want to live in that hassle. We are in an age where less is more. Less in terms of effort is also still more in terms of, oh, I love this brand. If I am able to communicate with my brand in an easy way, fast way, and get my problem solved, this is a brand that I would like to stay with. And that's what we need to do. Think about the effortless experience that we can provide fast insights to the agents so they be able to serve the customers in the same moment, solve problems right away, and of course, enable a data-driven customer engagement, provide the data as much as possible. Proactive provision of data to the contact center agents helps in changing the experience quite drastically. From there, what you talked about, in the morning we had a couple of discussions about that, and I think in the next day and a half we'll hear a lot about that. Critical mass for robotics and human for higher value interaction. I think the next session, there's Deutsche Bahn Sistel will be joining, and they will be actually tackling more in depth about that. But I'll tell you from a business perspective why, for me, robots and humans are important. Building up robotics that will support in automating processes is quite important. But having that available for the customer, whether via chatbot or voicebot, is quite important. We realized that when a customer presses on the digital head unit in the screen of the car, the button to contact the brand. So let me put it this way, with Smart, they press the Smart button to contact Smart and to get assistance for the breakdown. But sometimes they get routed to not the right speaking language agent. So I am Dutch, living in Germany, but I cannot speak German. And when I press the button, I get a German to speak with me. I have to go through the hassle of explaining, I don't speak German. Hand me over to somebody that speaks English, and that takes forever while I'm in a breakdown and I need my car fixed right now. What we will introduce with Smart is that we're going to have an in-car voice bot. And this voice bot will be able to eliminate the waiting time for the customer, that's number one. Number two, we'll be able to identify the customer language based on the profile in the settings in the car. And if not, and it's the same settings but a different driver, the driver can state the language that they would like to speak, and hopefully they will be able to get it. I actually have one of my suppliers here that does that for me, so I hope they listen to me and apply that as well. I'm not going to point out who. But basically, this is what we're planning to do. And then from there, I can actually, in the future, book a breakdown case or get an electrician to come and help me with my electric vehicle, or a towing truck to send my vehicle to the service center, or even ask for a service appointment and get it done right away without having to talk with a human being. And that is where I don't want to call it meaningless tasks, because they are important tasks, but they are the tasks that can be simply done via automation, via bots. And then get the human to focus on building a relationship, focus on the problems that need somebody's attention to solve, or focus on generating revenue out of every call that they have or every contact that they have. From there, we're going to talk about the notion of simplicity. We create a lot of systems, and a lot of these systems needs to be integrated with each other. But let me put you guys in the agent seat. My shift starts at 8 o'clock. I come and log in. The first login that I have is, for example, the Windows login. From there, I have to log into the CRM system, to the telephony system, to the knowledge management system, and so on and so forth. In the automotive industry, sometimes an agent has to log into 7 to 12 different systems. Imagine how much time that consumes. Imagine while I'm in a call with a customer and have to jump from one system to the other, sometimes copy and paste customer information to be able to display other information in another system. That takes forever. An average handling time of a call in an automotive industry in Europe is between 10 to 15 minutes for a breakdown. So I am stuck in road, I have to go to my job, or I have to go back to my family, and I have to wait 15 minutes for somebody to assist me, plus an hour till the towing truck comes to me. That's already an hour and 15 minutes. That's a horrible experience for me. And I know nobody can solve it, but I kind of expect more from a brand, and a lot of our brands, for example, here in Germany, we pay a lot of premium prices for it. So I'm expecting more. And this is what we need to start focusing on. Simplify solution, because simple solutions equals delighted customers. If you call Apple, I'm an Apple fan, to be honest. I don't work with them, but I just use the products a lot. But everything that I do with Apple is in one ecosystem. And if I do something with them, all the information is available for the agent in one place. I imagine that agent is living the happiest life ever because he has a great job, because he doesn't have to jump from one system to the other. I remember I left jobs while I was a contact center agent because of the jumping from one system to the other, or not being able to assist the way I thought I can assist. So it's important for me to be happy in order to serve my customer and make them happy. The other part here is basically customer effort. This is the strong driver of customer loyalty. It's a discussion that I had with my fellow management team in Smart. What is more important, getting the customer to promote my services, or getting the customer to have an effortless experience with us? We are all focusing on customer satisfaction index, sales satisfaction index, net promoter score. But the studies show that those that recommend your brand or select that they were satisfied with your service the highest, sometimes are actually not the loyal customer, they leave you. Why? Because still, they do a lot of effort to communicate with you or to get a service or a product that you have. It's the effort. And I think right now, in this time of age where everything is in the palm of our hands, it's important for us to make sure that we get the customer to have less effort to communicate with us. I don't want to search for the number of a company. It happens with me almost every day. I need to call somebody or a company to understand more information, and sometimes it takes me forever. Sometimes I cannot even find the information. It needs to be easy and accessible. I need to look into how I can reduce the effort. I don't have to call the contact center. Let's use knowledge management and push self-services out of it for the customer to be able to have answers without even looking at it. And that's something we're focusing on Smart. How can we minimize the effort for the customer to, one, buy the vehicle online? Because buying a vehicle online is not that easy. We will have voice bots and chat bots to support that. We will have agents support that. But it needs to be with few clicks available. How to complain? How can I see what is the status of my complaint? I don't need to call to get the answer of what happened with my car. We are going to provide that proactively via digital customer services that will be enabled in our apps, where the contact center agent can be able to communicate with the customer via notification or via messaging services based on the customer preference. Because once it's easy for the customer, I will not leave the brand. I love the brand because they make my life easy. I don't have to go through the hoops and loops for that. So it's important for us to focus on effortless experience for our customers. And of course, and I think a lot of IT people are here, or some people that deal with the IT world and know this, simplified IT landscape and tech stack completes the effortless experience picture. I cannot provide effortless experience to the customer or even to the agent without simplifying my technological solution architect. I looked into architects sometimes, and I looked into system landscapes, and it was sometimes shocking. Coming from an OEM that has been there for 100 years or even more, and I've seen that with multiple OEMs, sometimes it's so like heterogeneous landscape that I get lost. And sometimes you find this system that does the same action as the other system. Why do I have two? It's quite complicated. It needs to be simple. Because once it's simple, believe me, as an organization, You will be able to obtain your data easily. You will be able to make sense out of it easily. You'll be able to get people to work with your systems in the most optimal way, provide efficient and effective data for you that you can use in the future. And once you have that, you will be able to serve your customer in the best way possible. Why? Because you have one eco-platform, one ecosystem connected with each other, and it's completely simplified to serve the customer journey. So, from there, I would like to say that happy and satisfied employees deliver happy, satisfied customers. I love where I work. I'm very happy, and my customers is the people that I work with. I need to be delivering for them the best experience so they can go and get the job done that I would like them to get done. Imagine the contact center agents, or your salespeople that are working, or your customer services people. They need to be happy with the job. Because, and you can find it in a lot of videos and memes on Instagram and all the other social media platforms, where agents, before they finish the shift, by 1 minute get a call, and it's always the reaction, I'm almost finishing, and comes this beep customer to ruin my day. No, I need to make it the environment happy for them. Simplify the solution. Let the agent know I definitely can solve the next call easily and quite fast. Or even I can take this information and have all the access to the right appropriate information and data to solve this next customer's problem. Need them to be happy, because once they're happy, believe me, it will be reflected with the customer and how they will continue with you. So I always say, and by the way, I'm coming to an end, so you don't have to hear my voice a lot. I always say this: every interaction with prospects, customers, and fans is definitely an opportunity to create a remarkable experience. This is how we live that motto in our team. It's important that we focus on every touch point we have with our customers, and we make sure that none of them are not met with the most exceptional service. Because every moment that you have with your customer in your customer journey is definitely a defining moment for that customer. It might not be defining for you. So make sure to create remarkable experiences along every moment and every touch point you have with your customer. Believe me, once you do that, loyalty is guaranteed 100%. That is it from my side right now.
Yeah, thank you very much. Das ist Ihr Applaus. And of course, we like to hear your voice. Yeah, it's very enthusiastic and very positive, full of passion. Yeah. So we have a question.
Do you support user manuals as well?
Yes, we are simplifying the user manual, digitalizing them, importing them in knowledge management platform, pushing them via the bots, and we are going to even do a lot more nice stuff with explaining to the customer how to use the car.
Thank you.
Some more questions?
You can ask me about the car as well.
That was wrong. Yeah. About the car or about the presentation?
About a car, yeah. I have a car. Yeah, it was a great speech, and we had a short chat before that. And I think it's very important maybe to mention those brands like Smart, Daimler, Porsche, BMW, whatever. They're spending so much money into so little things like closing the door. How is the sound of closing the door? Is it in line with my brand and my brand experience, what I want to get for the customer? And sometimes there's a lack of this experience in the whole touch points that you're having. So from my point of view, I think it's very important to have a consistent brand experience with Smart, for instance, throughout all the channels. If it's the contact center, it's an app, a web approach, whatever. So I think this is key.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. And I worked with an OEM for a few years, so I know the negative stories, and I've seen the positive stories because I'm working on it right now. We are not working in silos. This is one of the directions that we had from our CEO, that we are all going to work together, and we need to have one unified approach with the customer journey. It's important for us to have that because I put myself in the customer's shoe, and let me put it this way. I had a brand, a car brand, and when I went and bought the car, I got an email, and then literally went back home. Within 30 days, I got 5 different emails welcoming me from 5 different departments in that brand. And then when I have a problem with that brand and I need to call the contact center, sometimes they tell me, well, yeah, we don't help you with that. You need to go to the dealer. So the consistency of the journey is not there. Even with the marketing, with campaigns, we also need to focus on not pushing too much campaigns to our customers. And that's when we need to go back and make sure that everybody's aligned and everybody knows what every department's strategy is. And you need to see this link happening between all of them, because in the end, they should be one organism. And this is how we work at Smart. For us, the product is the car, but it's not just the car. It's a digital product that is accompanied with an exceptional customer experience that we need to provide across every different touch point, from the vehicle while you actually open the door to the point when you call for a problem or go to the dealer as well. And that's our focus right now within Smart. Any further questions?
Car question. So if you skip back the slide, why does the Smart does not look like a Smart anymore?
Actually, I'm trying to go back. It's confusing for some reason. Yeah, so this is our concept #1. It doesn't look like a Smart because it's not the 4.2 or the 4.4, the QT small car. We are growing up a bit. But if you look at it, the Trident, which is famous for Smart, the protecting Trident is still there. The inside of the car, you will definitely relate to Smart. The front, because it's still a Mercedes-Benz design, the same team that designs the old Smarts are designing this. Somehow you'll find certain elements, but we are rebranding ourselves completely. So we are not the old Smart, we are something completely different, and we are going to bring in new ways of designing the car, but also new digital technologies within the car. So it needed to be a bit different. It's getting bigger. And I'll tell you this, wait for next year, you will hear exciting news about the cars that will come from our side. There will be some very, very beautiful things coming up. But yeah, thank you for noticing. It is not the typical Smart. It is grown-up Smart.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is your applause again. Thank you.